So we're talking about full swing consistency today. And the full swing is a very, very, very complex thing. You may not feel a lot of it because of the speed, but swinging at full speed, full length is a very complicated thing. Trying to make something so complicated simple magnifies its complexity because you have to fill in the blanks with mystery. And mystery is not usable. You're chasing a ghost. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but you're trying to fix it. So how can you minimize the complexity and the label, which makes no sense really, it's an oxymoron, too technical. There's no such thing. Technical means you're kind of an expert in that area. If you have a high degree of technical knowledge, you're an expert in that area. But how can it be how can you be too much of an expert? Is what it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make sense. So how can you reduce the complexity so it's understandable and you're working towards a reasonable goal? How can you do that? Well, the answer is through coming up with your own individual priorities, your own individual things that you need to work on to make things better. What's the value of prioritization? We were just talking about it. The value of prioritization is if you have this one thing and you say, I'm going to kill this one thing. Al swings outside in. I'm going to stop swinging outside in. I don't care if I shoot 150. I don't care if I shoot 65. I don't care what I shoot. I'm going to stop swinging outside in because that geometry is killing me. It makes me slice it. It makes me hit it straight left. It makes me hit my mid irons bad. It makes me hit my driver bad. My short irons, I can get away with it. But I'm just getting away with it. They go super high. They don't really have any real, I'm just picking on Al because I know his stuff. So I'm going to kill outside in. I'm going to kill it. In Susan's case, I'm going to hit it further. Now I'm going to do whatever it takes to hit the ball further. I can hit the fairway. I just can't get to the greens. Like number 10 and 2, I can't get there. Number 15 in 2 shots, I can't get there. I'm going to learn to hit it further. That's my number one priority. I don't care if I hit it out of bounds. I don't care if I hit it in somebody's swimming pool. I don't care. I'm going to hit it further. Because in Susan's case, if I can hit short irons into the greens, I'm going to play better compared to 3-woods and hybrids. And if I can hit an iron to number 11 instead of a hybrid, number 4. You follow me? Those kinds of things would greatly, dramatically affect her enjoyment of the game and her ability to shoot a score. So what 2 buckets does this kind of fall into? Well, you either have geometry or physics, okay? So an example of geometry would be if I'm aiming at that dark green bush right there and I swing this way, I've got a geometry problem. If I'm aiming at that dark green bush right there and I swing that way, I've got a geometry problem, okay? What if I have a physics problem? Well, what if instead of sustaining all this power, I throw it away back there? What if I rock back on my right side? Those are physics problems. And then kind of the secret sauce is biomechanics. How can you move? What ranges of motion do you have available to you that we can use to make the geometry and the physics work in your favor? Because if you can't move in a certain direction, then it's silly to try to work on that if you can't move that way. It doesn't matter how good the information is. If you can't move that way, it's not going to be helpful, okay? If you don't have the flexibility to swing that way, then what we've got to do is figure out a way for you to swing this way, but have that, even though it's outside into my feet, have it go right at the target. Then the geometry problem is solved. You with me? Those are the kinds of adjustments that we got to figure out. And you figure that out kind of diagnostically. You don't do it through intuition unless you're intimately familiar with the way that you move and the way that the things that you do, your individual pattern. Your individual golf swing pattern is like your fingerprint. Yours works great for you, yours works great for you, mine works great for me, but they're all different, okay? Your individual pattern of adhering to the geometry and the physics. You with me so far? Mm-hmm. I hope it's not too complicated.
No, okay. I'm with you.
All right, so we look at it diagnostically instead of personally. And we stay away from phrases that make really no sense at all. keep your hands inside the club means nothing, okay? And that's tiny. How can I get my hands inside there? Is that what that means? You know, good, smooth, smooth, nice, good, smooth, smooth, nice, smooth, means nothing. I mean, the players who hit the ball the best are violent at impact. They're creating 4 tons of pressure against the ball. You can't do that good, smooth, nice, good, smooth, smooth, nice, good. Tempo, tempo. What does that mean? Okay. So we try to look at things in a way that makes it very clear exactly what the one thing is you've got to do to get better. And then you just focus on that and you stay with it until you kill it. The only question is, how long does that take? And there's not a good answer for that, sadly. I'm continuing to look. Is it 10,000 hours, like Malcolm Gladwell said, you know, the talent code? Well, that's anecdotal evidence, so that's not really, it's some nice stories, and it makes you go, okay, I'm willing to dedicate 10,000 hours to this activity. That doesn't mean you're going to get it then, and there's no evidence that shows it's a guarantee. What if it only takes 100 hours? Would that be a better deal? Yeah? Okay. If you have used that pattern before a lot, you may need to just scratch the rust off of it and you're home free. Maybe get it in 10 minutes. If you've done it before, a lot, many, many times, many, many years, and you go, oh, I used to do that. Okay, we'll do it again, and that, okay, boom. And that's what you see with tour players a lot, is that they had this, what appears to be instant success. Not really true, it's just that's what they have already done in the past and been successful with, and they do it again. I've had the great honor and pleasure of working with Kenny Perry, and I've never taught Kenny Perry a thing. I've never taught him one thing about his full swing. All I've ever gotten Kenny Perry to do is swing like Kenny Perry when he's at his best. That's all I've ever done. Whatever adjustments it takes to get him to swing just like he did when he was the best player in the world, that's it. That's it. Didn't teach him a thing. Change it, change anything? No. Just get back to when you're at your best. What are you doing? Let's do that. Right? Now, I might have helped him with his putting a little. I might have helped him with some shots around the green that he didn't have, but full swing wise, never taught him a thing. Right? Well, that's kind of where you want to be. I don't want to change the individual pattern of your swing. I just want to make it adhere to geometry and physics that makes the ball do what you want to do. So in the final analysis, the swing is just a tool that you use to control the flight of the ball, how far it goes, and what direction it goes, what height it goes. That's it. Your swing won't make you a good player. You can choose the wrong club. You can mess up the hardest move in golf, which is this, pulling the right club out of the bag. That's the most difficult thing in golf to do. It is, because there's so many factors you have no control over that you have to then try to do something with. How it lands, where it lands, does it land in a pitch mark on the green? You know, a little bitty tiny pitch mark. What if it flies in there and it doesn't run out and I'm planning on it running out? And, you know, it hits a mound in the fairway and kicks dead right into the rough. You have no control over those things. So the goal is to figure out the one thing that you need to do, decide that you're going to go after that over a period of time, however long it takes, whatever that is, right? You're going to do that, and then move on to the next most important thing, whatever that happens to be. So this endless blind search that you might be involved with of, oh, let me try this, oh, let me try that, flatter, more upright, wide, narrow, narrow, wide, rotate, no, slide, no, tilt, stay down, stay up, you know, keep my head down, I mean really down, okay, keep my head down, all right, okay. You know, that relentless changing of things breeds the very inconsistency you're trying to get out of. So what's the trick then? Okay, that sounds all great from a satellite's view, but what's the trick? The trick is for you to come up with your individual trigger to make whatever it is that you're trying to do happen. Whatever that trigger is. Believe me, Kenny Perry says he does certain things in his swing, and he doesn't come close to doing anything that he says. He says, I get right on top of that ball and I bomb it with my right arm. Meanwhile, he's like this. Okay? So, and that's fine. If he feels like he gets right on top of it and bombs it with his rod, great. Because when he's on, he's the best in the world. I don't care how you say it. If you were to say, hey Ron, you know what I found out when I flare my left nostril, then I can swing inside out. Fine, I'm all in, good. Flare away, okay? I find when I pat my left foot, right before I take it back, that I have more power. I'm all in, congratulations, let's do that. Let's pat your left foot, let's go, let's go. Whatever trigger it takes, that's not important. And head down, eyes closed, stay behind it, stay down, good, smooth, nice, Those are all examples of triggers. They don't mean a whole lot, but they're nice triggers. Okay? It's a trigger to make you move the way you're trying to move to get the ball to listen to you.